It's r/EntitledParents time. Nothing like a relaxing vacation. With someone else's kids? What is this insane entitled mother planning to ruin everyone's holiday? Get ready for some more crazy on this episode of VoiceyHere's Entitled Parents. This story was called You're Going on Vacation? Take My Kids With You. My boyfriend's cousin, his paternal uncle's daughter, has 4 children. Each of her kids is the personification of the word bratty. The said cousin refuses to discipline them, and constantly makes excuses for their behavior. She's also very judgmental of our decision to not have children. She's often made some snide comments towards me, implying that I'm the selfish jerk who has deprived my boyfriend of the joys of raising children. For these reasons, and for her generally entitled behavior, my boyfriend had cut ties with her. However, when he and I visited his paternal home 3 days ago for his parents' anniversary celebration, we ran into her again. My boyfriend's dad had urged him to use this occasion to mend bridges with the cousin, so we both tried to make nice and engaged in small talk with her. During that conversation, boyfriend mentioned that we were leaving for Melbourne for vacation in a few days. At this, cousin's eyes lit up.
"Oh, that sounds like so much fun,"
she said.
"My husband and I haven't gone anywhere since our honeymoon."
She whined some more about how hard it is for them with 4 kids. If only they could afford such luxuries, etc. I could tell where this was going. My boyfriend probably felt sorry for her and, being the kind and generous soul that he is, offered to buy them a weekend in a resort at Mount Abu, a hill station in the Indian state of Rajasthan. Cousin, face scrunched up,
"That's nice, but why can't you take us to Melbourne with you?"
Boyfriend getting a bit annoyed, but still patient. "Well, we want to spend some time alone together. Plus, we'll be meeting some close friends there. Besides, Mount Abu is a beautiful place. Your kids will love it."
"I still don't see why you can't take us to Australia. You're being so selfish. Going on this great trip and sticking your family with a cheap weekend getaway?"
Boyfriend's mum. "Cousin, he's making a very generous offer. Either take it or leave it." Cousin wearing the expression that morons wear when they think they'd had a bright idea.
"Oh, I know. Why don't my husband and I go to Mount Abu and you can take our kids to Melbourne?"
What?
"I think it's a great idea. The kids can have fun in Melbourne with you two, and my hubby and I can enjoy a peaceful weekend. This way the kids can actually spend some time with their uncle. You never make time for them."
I'm offering for the last time. It's either the weekend in Mount Abu or nothing at all. And why the heck would we ruin our vacation taking care of your kids?
"How can you say that? My kids are so well behaved. You'll have so much fun spending time with them. Besides, my husband and I could really use some quiet time together. You and your girlfriend don't have any responsibilities. You have no idea how hard it is to raise 4 kids. You can afford this trip. I don't see why you won't share with family."
One more word and you're losing my Mount Abu offer. On hearing this, the cousin shut up. We all had dinner together and she was mercifully quiet. If only her kids had followed her example. You'd think this would be the end of it, but no. We had seriously underestimated her dedication to her Karen-ness. This morning, cousin showed up at apartment with kids in tow. I was shocked to see her, of course, and asked if something was wrong. She smiled and said,
"I'm just here to drop the kids off. You're leaving tonight, right?"
After taking a second to recover from the shock, I asked, "Did you fall and hit your head on something? We told you we weren't taking your kids with us. What part of that did you not understand?" Then she tried to convince me that my boyfriend had called her later on and had agreed to take her kids. I knew this was bullcrap and called it as such. Cousin became enraged and asked if I was going to break her kid's heart. Why would I break our promise? And how could boyfriend and I be so cold? I called my boyfriend and after telling him what was going on, I turned on the speaker. My boyfriend proceeded to chew her out brutally, telling her he would no longer pay for their weekend getaway, and that this is exactly the kind of behavior that has made him cut ties with her. She tried to get a word in, but he wouldn't let her. Cousin took her kids and stormed off. Boyfriend and I are still laughing over this, and are still wondering what made her think that this plan would ever work. It's not like no one's gonna believe the cousin when she says, raising 4 kids is hard. Like, yeah, we believe you. That's obviously part of the reason why the boyfriend and girlfriend chose not to have kids. They didn't want that as part of their life. But if you've chosen to have 4 kids, you've chosen to sacrifice certain things in your life so that you can have them. Yes, you'll get the joy of raising 4 kids, but it means you also get the pain of raising 4 kids as well, including not going on holidays whenever you want in whatever way you want. You especially don't have the right to just dump your kids on your family because you want to get away. The fact that he offered a weekend holiday away is the best you're gonna get, so just take it. This story was called EM Wants Me to Move, away from my mum, on plane so she can have extra seat. The backstory. I was on a plane from vacation. My mum and I were sat in a row of 3 people and had a spare seat. EM wanted me to swap with her so she could get 2 seats to herself, while I would sit with her husband and kid. So we were in the air, the seatbelt sign was off, and we were free to roam around. The flight had a couple spare seats from what I could see, including the one next to me. My mum and I had booked the middle and window seat, but I moved to sit in the aisle so we could have more space. The woman sat in front, EM, continuously whipped her head around to stare at me for a few seconds. I tried to ignore her, but it was freaking weird. After 20 minutes of her turning around to stare at me every few seconds, she eventually tapped me on the head. She tapped me on my head by reaching over the seat.
Excuse me?
Her tone was very severe. Yes? Hi? I was very tired but tried to be polite.
Swap seats with me.
She maintained eye contact the whole time. I took a few minutes to respond, but I was just dumbfounded. I'm with my mum, I'd rather not.
You've got a spare seat. I want to spread out and relax. Swap with me.
No, please leave me alone.
That's not how you speak to an adult.
She got a little loud, enough to turn heads and disturb my mum, who asked if I was okay.
Swap with me. I need to sit there and you can sit next to my child. You can play with him.
The child looked around 5. I am 18. Please leave.
Move right now.
This turned everyone's head, made me so embarrassed, and was loud enough to summon a flight attendant. Mid-30s male. Is everything alright here? He spoke directly to EM, completely ignoring me.
That boy won't move. He's got 2 seats to himself and he...
My mum interjected, loudly at this point. I actually have 2 seats to myself, both of which are paid for. I was sitting in the aisle seat, which was not booked. The EM didn't respond to my mum. I think she was intimidated. I'll see what I can do. He then turned to me. I had been listening and present the whole time. This woman is asking if you'd be able to swap with her so she could have more space. Would you mind?
Would I mind?
No, I don't want to swap.
EM erupted.
She started yelling at me, calling me a brat, calling me selfish. My mum was yelling at her back, and I was honestly struggling not to laugh at EM because I noticed how her chins shook as she shouted. The flight attendant during the argument shrinked away, just backed off and freaking left. EM realized she was making a fool of herself.
Fine, selfish freaking brat.
She sat back down and swung her seat back as much as she could, which was fine because it was literally a couple inches and I had plenty of space. My mum asked if I was okay and if I wanted her to make the EM move. I said I was fine. EM started making huffing noises. I ignored her, put in my earphones, and the rest of the flight was fine. When we landed, EM made sure to get up like a rocket and block the walkway so I couldn't get out of the aisle. I, however, was feeling petty. I stood up, shuffled over and said, "You don't mind, do you?" Then barged into the walkway in a way that looked accidental. She stumbled into someone else who was promptly launched back into her seat. It was hilarious, like watching a ping pong ball. She didn't even move after that, and we got off the plane and never saw her again. That's the thing with seats on a plane, like sometimes you just get really lucky. You either get upgraded for free, or maybe there's no one next to you and get the extra space. But you're never entitled to it, unless of course you've paid for it. How many people do you know in your life who'd have the audacity to turn around on a plane, stare at somebody in the eyes, pat them on the head and be like, "Yo, can you move? Because I need to sit in that seat. But hey, I've got a great compensation. You can sit next to my 5-year-old kid." Yeah, I hope you don't have too many people like that in your life. This story was called "Let Me Connect to Your Hotspot." So I was at the hospital with my family at 1 AM because my little sister, 2.5 years old, was having a very bad cough. I pulled out my phone as I had nothing to do, and there was at least a 30-minute wait before the doctor could see us. My sister was not a part of the data pool for our family yet, so I hotspotted her so that she could keep her 2 gigabytes for times when I'm not there. We must have had our conversation pretty loud because a woman comes up to me and asks if I could hotspot her too because she needed to make a WhatsApp call to someone. Being sleepy at 1 AM, I just said yes and asked for her phone so I could enter the password.
Just tell me the password. I don't feel comfortable giving my phone to strangers.
I get that, but I'm in the same way. I don't feel comfortable giving strangers my password.
Oh, come on, you can trust me. I promise I won't do anything.
Sorry, but I won't do that.
Fine.
Her tone suggested that she was doing me a favor by using my data. She hands me her phone and I enter the password. She walks away and 40 minutes later, again I was sleepy as and lost track of time. When my parents are with the doctors, she walks back with an iPad in her hand.
Enter the password on this too, and be quick about it.
No, and I only allowed you to use it for a call.
Just shut up and connect it. It's not like you need all the data to yourself. Hey!
I tell my sister to not get involved. I knew how to handle her since I knew about this subreddit.
I wanna watch
some kids show I can't remember.
Right now!
EM to EK.
Just a minute.
To me.
Look what you're doing to EK. Just give me the darn password.
Enough. First off, it's my data and I can do whatever the heck I want with it. Secondly, you said 1 call for 10 minutes, not 40. Lastly, I'm turning my network off. My sister was just listening to music, so it wouldn't bother her.
What's your tone with me? And I'll just play it on my phone, which is connected, and if you turn it off...
I thought of something to tick her off further. Fine. I won't turn it off. EM smugly.
That's what I thought.
She walks away and plays some kid's crap on her phone, and I hear the video playing. I turn it off.
Mommy, make the phone work!
EK starts whining, screaming and kicking EM. She fends off her hellspawn and angrily walks towards me.
You idiot! Turn the Wi-Fi back on!
I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong person.
Shut up, smartass, and turn the Wi-Fi back on!
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't recognize you. You must have the wrong person.
I'm calling security and getting you kicked out.
Okay, ma'am. You do you. She comes back with a security guard and says,
He's the one who stole my phone. Arrest him.
Is this true? No, and if you want, I can show you why. I proceed to tell him the specifications of my phone, the color under the case, the backup password, how it unlocks with my fingerprint. It has a redacted network SIM card. The wallpaper, how it had my school ID card in the card holder on the case, and I told her all the contacts on the phone since I have 15 contacts, which are all family and 3 close friends. Also, if he called the contact sister, he would call my sister's phone, who was right next to me.
No, he changed all of that. My phone didn't have a lock.
Then whose phone is that? Me pointing towards her hellspawn who had taken her phone out of her pocket and was trying to play a vid.
That's EK's phone.
What about the iPad? To security guard. She has an iPad which is probably in her bag and was used by EK. SG asks her to show the contents of her purse, which she hesitantly did, and it revealed an iPad. She was asked to leave the building, but she begged as her kid was sick and needed a doctor, so the guards let her stay, but she was seated in a different area than me. My parents came out with my little sister and we went home. Haven't been to the same hospital since, as it is an area with such people, but it was the only one open at 1 AM that day. Hospitals can be the worst for meeting people like this. Everyone's stress levels are already so high. You're probably not feeling good because you're either sick, or somebody you care about that you're with is sick, and usually it's the most uncomfortable, ugly rooms that you have to wait in. You've got waiting times, sometimes the staff aren't too helpful. Honestly, I think the hospital has to be the worst place to encounter an entitled parent. This fan-submitted story was called EM Ruins My Birthday and Tries to Get Away from the Cops. The cast: my friend, my uncle, friend's stepmother, friend's stepbrother, Apple employee, and security. This happened a week ago, and it was my 13th birthday. We finished eating cake and I started to unbox the gifts. But I saved my uncle's present for last because I knew he got me something special. I got a phone case, gaming headphones, and a wireless charger. I opened Uncle's gift, but I knew that he got me a new iPhone 10, which I was so excited about because I'd never gotten an iPhone before. After that, my friend and I were playing with his Nintendo Switch until EM came up to me.
Hey there, is that the new iPhone 10?
Yeah?
Can I give it to my son?
Sorry, why would I give it to F? He already has a good iPhone 7.
But your phone is a new one and my son really wants the phone.
Mom, can you stop bothering him so we can get back to playing?
F, don't talk back to your mother. I know what is best for you and you need that phone.
Why should I give you my brand new phone? It's my birthday present.
Fine. I'll let your father know about this.
She leaves and starts talking to my dad, but my dad just talks back to her. EM starts yelling, but to my surprise, my dad just ignores her. Sorry, EM can get a little careless and be rude sometimes. It's fine, bro. We start smirking and go back to playing. EM walks up to me with EC and starts talking to me. Oh boy. Yes?
Can I get it now?
No? EM looks completely shocked as if I killed her dog or something, but then gets a grin on her face. EC sneaks behind F and I, secretly snatches my phone while we were distracted, and throws it at EM. EM starts knocking down tables, chairs, and some of my cousins. Once we get outside, they were sitting on the porch while EM had a smug look on her face. She scrapes the screen with her fake nails. They were long as heck, and the phone starts to vibrate while Siri was going on and on about emergencies. She hits it like 10 times.
How come this phone doesn't work? How come it's calling 911?
I immediately run up to EM and grab my phone. Why the heck would you call the cops on my phone? Why is Siri not stopping?
Why don't I go to Apple and fix this? They know how to fix everything.
Sorry, Android users. EM rips my phone out of my hands, takes EC by the wrist and pulls him into the car. Then they drive out of the neighborhood. I get Uncle to drive after EM and we get to an Apple store. She goes up to an Apple employee about 15 or 16.
Hi, can you repair this iPhone?
Can I see what is wrong with it?
Can you just fix it already?
Ma'am, I need to know what is wrong with it first.
This girl's voice counted down from 3 and it said emergency SOS while it has this red switch. So I swiped it and now it is vibrating. Fix it!
Oh, sorry miss, I can't help with that exact problem. Why would you call the police?
Can I speak to your manager now?
Okay, I'll get my manager.
She had this look on her face of just pure annoyance. EM turns around and sees me, friend and uncle, just looking at her in confusion. Then EM proceeds to give the phone to EC and whispers in his ear. EC takes the phone and raises it in the air slowly and throws it on the floor. The screen cracks. I just looked shocked at the floor and tried to hold back tears. Then I remembered that I can just fix the screen and it would be alright. So I tried to calm down. Then EM places the cracked phone in front of her, takes an iPad from the table with displays, and repeatedly smashes both the iPad and the iPhone until they were both broken beyond repair. I was devastated. Security and police show up, so EM tries to run away, but we try to block her path and she punches Uncle in the face, giving him a black eye. Miss, we'll have you kicked out and banned from this establishment. Stop harassing valuable customers and breaking our property.
Stop grabbing me, you giant freak! Get me out, this man is touching me!
One officer in training was just astounded at the logic of an entitled person, and the other just told him that's what we have to deal with. Security gives her to the police, and EM gets put in a cop car.
I didn't do anything! Police, please listen! Up took my phone and he was the one who broke it, not me! I'm innocent! Innocent!
I never actually got to peel off the fresh plastic off the phone screen, place a case on it, download games, and use the wireless charger. Who knew people could be that entitled to a phone? If you'd like your story to be narrated by me, don't forget to visit the subreddit r/VoiceyHere, link below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.